I got Bitcoin. That's what Arlene is saying now. All right, so we sent Arlene some crypto, right? I sent her some Bitcoin from my wallet to her wallet, and I really wanted to show you kind of the logistics of this and really what it looks like behind the scenes and why crypto is such a valuable asset for so many people in the world. There's so many unbanked people in our country. That's something you should Google right now just to figure out how many people are unbanked in the world. And this is a banking system that then can solve a lot of those problems. And so as we take a look at this, this is her wallet address, right? On the left side, what you see is my Coinbase account. I sent her 5188, and on the right side you see her Binance account. So from my Coinbase account, Bitcoin, to her Binance account to get Bitcoin. And the way this works is you saw us talk a little bit about, hey, I'm going to send you some money, and that was kind of it. But how long did it take? What did it cost? And what does this look like? And kind of how do I figure out what those numbers should look like if I wanted to send somebody some crypto? And so the first thing I look at is on the left side here, I can see that the price per coin at that time was $32,452.18, right? I wanted to send about $50 or so. And so I plugged in something which happened to be 0.001599 Bitcoin. That's actually rounded up. It was point like 989 or something like that. Or you could just type in, I want to send $50, right? And what those numbers will give you is this 5188. So what you see is I did, what is 0.001599 times the amount of the Bitcoin? That tells us how much money, right? That's the math behind it. Pretty simple. The other thing I want to look at is, yes, I'm going to send it, but it costs me money to send money, right? If you send it Western Union, it costs a fortune. If I wanted to send a wire here domestically in the United States, it's going to cost me 15 to 30 bucks, right? No matter how much I really want to wire, it would never make sense to go and wire $51, right? Or wire 50 bucks. Internationally, it would cost me over $50, and it would cost me a pretty sizable amount of time as well as that money, right? And what we're seeing here is twofold. One, not only did I send it, what was the fee associated? You see where it says fee, it was 25 cents. If you go do that math, what is 0.000008 of that amount? And it turns out to be 25 cents. So I did an international transaction from Texas in the United States over to the Philippines for 25 cents, cheaper than I could do it at any sort of bank. And there's even ways to get that fee even cheaper. But I happen to be using Coinbase, which might the fee might be a little bit higher, or the blockchain might have been kind of bogged down. A lot of transactions are wanting to go through at the time, and so that could have potentially caused that fee to go up. The banking system uses a ruling that says, hey, the throttling of the network, the amount of wires we're going to send, it costs us more manpower, more electricity, more whatever it is to send it during certain times. And so we'll set a strict fee of, say, $30 for a wire. And that wire sometimes will cost us $1. Sometimes it costs us $6. And so no matter what it is, we'll just set it at 30 bucks. And for your peace of mind, you'll just always know that it's $30. Well, I'll tell you, for me, I'd rather pay 25 cents knowing that if it gets really, really busy, it might cost me 80 cents, right? It might cost me 3 times as much or something like that. So now that I've sent this, you saw me send this transaction, I wanted to let you know what it ended up costing. It cost me 25 cents. Now on the other side, what you see is she received 0.00159,105 less Bitcoin. That is the it was the amount of Bitcoin I sent her minus the fee amount, 0.000008 of a Bitcoin, and that's what she ended up receiving. And so it really helps to kind of paint the picture for how inexpensive transactions can be, specifically when we're talking about cross-border payments from one country to another country. Anytime there's that level of complexity, it's a lot more complex than you would imagine to be able to send an international wire. But this is something that was done for very inexpensive. So the question becomes, how long did it take? It took about 8 minutes, right? It took about 8 minutes because there's a 13-hour time difference from my time to her time. And so when you look at this time, 8 minutes to send a transaction. I'll tell you that sometimes I send a domestic wire and it's supposed to be instantaneous. I don't know if you've ever sent a wire before, but an instantaneous transaction in the United States still can take more than 8 minutes, a couple hours, and I've even had some wires not even confirm until the next day. Depends on the banking institutions and a few other things. It's not so much that, hey, this is a much better solution, we should quit everything. I'm just trying to say that the way crypto is done, it allows for cheaper transactions a lot of the time, specifically for those who are unbanked, specifically for those people in our world that need access to something like a Western Union or something like that. And then also from a time standpoint, to be able to send money directly without any third-party interaction or confirmation from a federal government or a banking institution of some kind. It's cheap, it can be quick, and this is how it's done.